Peace. This is Wise for Wise Words Media. And this weekend, we just got the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And wow, some beatdowns, some tight games. But overall, the teams that were supposed to make it, made it. And I'll start with my New York Football Giants, It's been a tremendous year, amazing run. Hats off to Coach Dable. Hats off to Mike Kafka, offensive coordinator. Hats off to Wink Martindale. Hats off to Daniel Jones for stepping it up and showing and proving that he can play at this level and can be an impact player. I mean, the things that Daniel Jones was able to accomplish this year with no wide receiving core whatsoever, it's a remarkable thing, man. It was, as a Giants fan, you have to be excited. I'll quote Gordon Damer from ESPN Radio. He said, when the New York Giants beat the Minnesota Vikings in the wild card round, that clinched a successful season. I couldn't agree with him more. He's absolutely right. We had a successful season because we weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. Nobody had us making the playoffs. And for us to not only make the playoffs, but to win a game in the playoffs, that hats off. But we knew going in, every Giants fan knew we had our work cut out for us, because the Eagles just got to keep it a buck, man. We got to keep it real. The Eagles, for the past 20 years, they own us. They own the Giants, man. They own the Giants the entire Eli Manning era. We were not successful against these guys during the Eli Manning era. Every time, no matter how bad the Eagles were, they somehow show up all the time when it comes to play the Giants. And this year, the Eagles are a very good team, man. See what happens when you get weapons? Jalen Hurts and the Eagles struggled mightily last year. They went and get Devontae Smith, and then they went and get a solidified number one wide receiver in A.J. Brown, and look how things turn around. They went from one of the worst to first. So, gotta give it to these filthy birds. They on to the next. But the players that they going up against are the guys who stole the show late into the season and became big-time players, man. I made a video when Christian McCaffrey was traded to the San Francisco 49ers, and I pretty much said this right here changes the landscape of the NFL. And when McCaffrey, the moment that San Fran made a deal for McCaffrey, you knew the 49ers were all in. This was it. And they host the game last night against the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys find a way to beat the Cowboys once again. I mean, I gotta ask y'all, man, drop a comment in the comment section. Are the Cowboys the most choking team in professional sports? We gotta ask ourselves that. Are they the most choking team in professional sports? The Cowboys, every season, they look incredible during the regular season. Then when you see them in the postseason, it's like a deer in headlights at moments. Dak Prescott, I have him as a top-tier quarterback. And the way I grade my tiers are in thirds. The first third, that top 10, is the elite. That second tier, which would be like, I guess, from 11 to, like, let's say 21, 22-ish. Those guys are your second tier, and your third tier is like from 21, 22 to 32. I have him in that top 10. I have him as like maybe number 10 in that. But man, I don't know. I got to start seriously considering this because this is year after year, man. But this is a Cowboys thing. These guys always find a way to cowboy. And just by saying that alone, I'm starting to feel like these guys are the most choking team, the most choking franchise in sports. If it wasn't against these same 49ers last year, bobbling the ball at the line of scrimmage, and this year they do it again. Dak Prescott does not show up. The defense showed up. I mean, that Michael Parsons is a terror. The defense showed up, but the Cowboys find a way to cowboy once again. They, late in the game, Dalton Schultz, instead of going forward, this is IQ, understanding. You're supposed to go forward. Even if you're going out of bounds, forward progress. You've seen that the guys on the San Fran defense knew what they were doing because they was pushing him back. And as soon as he went out of bounds, they're pointing backwards. Like, yo, no forward progress. So what happens the next play with Dalton Schultz? Instead of catching the ball and looking down, try to toe tap before you hit the out of bounds line, he leaps and bounds into out of bounds and doesn't get both feet in. It's the Cowboys cowboying, but you know what? I said the 49ers changed the landscape of the NFL, and I see them. It's going to be the 49ers in the Super Bowl. They are going to beat, I know they're underdogs, and if you got a sports betting app, put your money on San Fran. I know I will this weekend because they're already underdogs to Philly because Philly's hosting. And Brock Purdy being a rookie. But watch, I'm telling y'all, put your money on San Fran. They're going to win this weekend. I also say that partially because I hate the Eagles. But no, seriously, on a serious note, they look special on all fronts. Defensively, running game, passing game, they look serious. And another team that looks equally as serious, who I feel is going to face the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals. Those Bengals, they arrived. They arrived last year when Joe Burrow caught the world by surprise, marched into Kansas City and beat them in the AFC Championship game, pulled the upset of the year, and he just continues. Joe Burrow, I know I heard Ryan Clark say, not Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky this morning said that he is the best quarterback in the NFL. I think I'm starting to come to that conclusion. I don't want to take the title away from Patrick Mahomes yet. But my goodness, I think I'm close to saying it. I'm still holding off, and I'm still going to give number one to Patrick. But goodness gracious, I think he's about to take number one away from Patrick Mahomes. And if he beats him again this weekend, and I know in all fairness, Mahomes is hurt, but Joe Burrow to go into Buffalo in those snowy conditions and put up the performance he put up yesterday, that man is unfazed. Ice water in his veins, man. That guy is the Iceman. That man is... Joe Burrow is phenomenal. Don't be surprised if that man's career ends up being better than Tom Brady's. I said it, and I'm going to continue saying it. That guy has potential to have a better career than Tom Brady. He is peaking at such an early stage. He understands quarterbacking better than any quarterback in the NFL today. Like pure quarterbacking, he has it. the running game with Mixon. Like that wide receiver core and the defense is just, they don't get enough high praise, man. They don't get enough high praise for obvious reasons, because that offense is really good with Joe Burrow and that running game, but that defense is largely responsible also for the success this team is having. This team is a really, really good football team on all cylinders, man. Offense, defense, special teams, they are a very, very solid defense, and it's going to be them in the 49ers. And as I previously mentioned, Kansas City, as expected, beat the Jaguars. But the key thing coming out of that game is the Mahomes injury, and that is gonna level the playing field, because of course Kansas City has the home field. But I think this levels the playing field, having Kansas City with a hurt Patrick Mahomes. I think that Joe Burrow and company, even if Mahomes, that's how much respect and admiration I have for Joe Burrow. Even if Mahomes wasn't injured, I still had Cincinnati beating the Chiefs. And it's gonna lead us into a Super Bowl that is gonna be a phenomenal watch. It's gonna be the Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers. That's my prediction. And let me know what y'all think. Hit the like button. Drop a comment who you think got these championship games this weekend. And let's build. I'm Waj for Waz Words Media. Peace.